The word that I'm interested in here, in this particular section of the Uniform Commercial Code, inside of my notes, is number 7, which says it's the entitlement holder, and it means a person identified in the records of a securities intermediary as a person having a security entitlement against the securities intermediary. Person acquires a security entitlement by virtue of section 8501B2. That person is the entitlement holder. Securities account, acquisition of security entitlement from securities intermediary. Receives a financial asset from the person or acquires a financial asset from the person, and in other case accepts it for credit. Look at that, accepts it for credit to the person's securities account, or becomes obligated under the law, regulation, or rule to credit a financial asset to a person's securities account. Dang, so when we get to court, you know what I'm saying, we have to accept says we have to accept the credit. We gotta accept the charges, and we gotta go ahead and have them settle it, have them settle the account according to what this says. You know, so you order them to, because you're the entitlement holder. So the entitlement holder should probably do an entitlement order. It means the notification communicated to a securities intermediary directing transfer or redemption of a financial asset to which the entitlement holder has a security entitlement. So the entitlement holder would be the fiduciary, right? So the standard form 56 or the F56, depending on which method you're going, but you're going to have to do one or the other, or if not both. But I just was going through some of my notes. I have thousands of notes. I mean, I'm not even kidding. But you know, the Uniform Commercial Code, financial asset, an obligation of a person or a share, participation, or other interest in a person or in property, or an enterprise of a person. Yeah, it sounds to me like that name that they doggone got on that court paperwork. That's an enterprise of a person, and that person is deceased, because you can't have a last name and be alive. In the law, a deceased person has a last name, and I'm not deceased, so they cannot be my name. But it's also deceased because it's a decedent. It's no longer a minor, you know. So I'm the accommodation party, but I'm also the authorized representative who is responsible for the endorsement. The endorsement means a signature that alone or accompanied by other words is made on a security certificate in registered form or on a separate document for the purpose of assigning, transferring, or redeeming the security, or granting a power to assign, transfer, or redeem it. That sounds to me like when they tell you to sign the bill of indictment, or they tell you to sign the appearance bond or the ticket. It's the endorsement. You're going to endorse it. You need to endorse it in an appropriate what would be the good word for that? I guess the appropriate designation, representative, and not signing as the surety for the debt. Otherwise they're going to put you in jail, or they're going to require you to have a bond, which, remember, all you need to do is just to doggone settle the deficiency. Settle it. That's all you can do. You create it with your signature. The endorsement creates the creates the value. You know what I'm saying? A contract must have value and consideration in order for it to be a contract. Otherwise, it would be a void contract, fraudulent contract, a security. Okay. So yeah, you see, these are the kind of things that you gotta look at, these definitions of all of the different forms of definitions and stuff. You know, that's what I do. You know, I go here, then I go and I read the you know, the forms that are necessary for the Internal Revenue Service. I look for any kind of definitions I can find if I'm lucky. Okay. 1099 for make sure you do your 1099 report. Make sure you're not liable for backup withholding. Also, you gotta make sure that the people who are taking your documents are also giving you the W-9s, so that you can also file and make sure that they're paying, or that they're exempt to be paying backup withholding on the income that they receive whenever you give them a contract, and the contract is endorsed with your endorsement. Okay. Anytime you write a check, anytime you settle your bills, you know, and zero out the account on the bills and stuff, you know, make sure you're doing the correct filing and statuses. And you know, a payee, this is very important, payee. Throughout these instructions, the term payee means the person with respect to whom the Form 1097, 1098, 1099, 3921, 3922, 5498, and W2G are required to be filed, including beneficiaries, borrowers, debtors, donors, employees, insureds, participants, payment residents, policy shareholders, sellers, shareholders, transfers, students, and winners. This is where you file at. This is where you file these forms at if you know, file these forms and things. It's very important. Very important information, you guys. So you gotta pay attention to this stuff when you're reading this. And you gotta study this stuff, because stuff is extremely important when you get it. When you get it done right, you're gonna be a million times happier, more successful. And you know, it's not required that you learn all of these forms, only just the ones that are necessary for you in your particular situation you got going on. Because everybody's got this, they're going about this a different way, you know. So you gotta understand that there are different people offering information, and then there are often people who are often just offering information, and they're not even doing the information that they're offering. So you just got to be careful and do the research. Always do the research on yourself. So you go and order this form right here. And matter of fact, if you would like to order this form, then what you would need to do is you need to go right here. Go to irs.gov/forms. It was a number. I don't know if I'll run into it, but reporting backup withholding on forms 1099 and W2G. If you backup withhold on a payment, you must file the appropriate form 1099 or the form W2G with the IRS and furnish a statement to the recipient to report the amount payment and the amount withheld. This applies even though the amount of the payment may be below the normal threshold for filing Form 1099 or Form W-2G. For how to report backup withholding, see Part N. Alright, Part N, that is way somewhere on another page, so we will get to that later. Okay, I might go ahead and break this up into separate videos. Taxpayer identification number. 10. Matching 10. 10. Matching allows a payer or authorized agent who is required to file forms 1099B, DIV, G, INT, K, miscellaneous, NEC, OID, and or PATR, which report income subject to backup withholding, to match 10 and name combinations with the IRS records before submitting the forms to the IRS. 10 matching is one of the e-services products that is offered and accessible through the IRS website. Alright, so look at that. There you go. Who must file? Nominee. So we would be the nominee. We're the middleman. Receive a Form 1099 for amounts that actually belong to another person. You are considered a nominee recipient. Okay, so who's the other person? The other person would be that decedent's estate property. That is trade name. And you must file a Form 1099 with the IRS, the same type of Form 1099 you received, for each of the other owners, showing the amounts allocable to each. You must also furnish a Form 1099 to each of the other owners. File a new Form 1099 with Form 1096 in IRS Submission Processing Center for your area. On each new Form 1099, list yourself as the payer and the other owner as the recipient. On Form 1096, you list yourself as the filer. A spouse is not required to file a nominee return to show amounts owned by the other spouse. The nominee, not the original payer, is responsible for filling the subsequent Form 1099 to show the amount allocable to each owner.